would you mind telling us about what Dark Phoenix is about?
Well, it's about a lot of things, but it's primarily about one of the characters, Jean Grey, being inhabited by another energy that causes her to become very unstable, both emotionally, psychologically, in all ways. And the threat she then poses to herself and the people she loves, her family.
Great. And, as someone who's been so personally involved with the X-Men franchise, what is it about the X-Men movies that just make them so popular that they resonate with audiences so well?
I think to me, it's twofold. I think first and foremost, it's at the core of the X-Men is the exploration of being different and trying to find your place in the world. And I think that is a timeless emotional idea and dilemma. And that I think it's part of what has drawn people to the comics and part of what people enjoy in the movies. I think obviously the other part is each of these characters has their own unique abilities and their own extraordinary skills. And in that, not only is that fun to see, but I hope, and I think Simon did a really great job in this one, you end up feeling that the powers are an extension of who they are, of both the best and the worst of them. And I think Logan's a great example of a character who is both a hero and in some ways tortured by the thing that makes him different. And I'd argue that's true of all of them to some degree. It's both a burden and a gift. And so seeing them grappling with that and then also using that in such kind of fun and entertaining and wish-fulfilling ways, I think is sort of the cornerstone of what makes these things so popular.
Brilliant. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's great. And then, in your opinion, what would you say distinguishes Dark Phoenix from the other X-Men movies in the franchise?
A couple of things. One, we made a decision on this in part in answer to the challenges we faced on Days of Future Past and Apocalypse to do a more single character focused story, right? And in doing that, we also wanted to find a way to do a much more grounded, real tone. Because part of what I think the superpower of these movies are the characters. And so we wanted to get deeper into the characters that serve as the bedrock for the franchise. And this story with that tone allowed us to do that. To explore Charles's flaws, to explore, what it would be like to feel out of control. And Sophie, for example, did a lot of work studying mental illness and different, very real manifestations of what Phoenix or what Jean Grey might be feeling as she's grappling with those powers. So it was an attempt to get closer to an emotional reality that we all could recognize. And I think that's a step away from what we've seen before in the X-Men films.
No, that's a great point. And I saw several of the interviews where Sophie talks about the research that she did and the amount of work that she went into it. And so impressive.
Yeah, it was really impressive. And it was something, she jumped in with both feet right out the gate. The first conversation, it was clear to Simon, she's all in, and she never stopped. So it was extraordinary to watch and really gratifying, because I felt like, she was a teenager practically when she first came to us, and the idea watching her grow on Game of Thrones and then subsequently watching her grow through this film has really been exciting.
I couldn't agree more. She's great. She's brilliant. And then, as you know, 3D is often used in storytelling to enhance the story. So in what ways did you use 3D in Dark Phoenix to help enhance the emotional experience for audience members?
For us, it's mostly about immersing the audience in the world. It's not, we tried not to use it in any way to shock or surprise or do some of the things that you can do with 3D or we've seen done historically. And, I think Cameron really set the bar for how to use 3D as a way to make it more immersive. And in this case, in our immersion is to get close to the characters, what they're feeling. So the hope is that in 3D you get to inhabit the realm and the world of the X-Men more intimately than you otherwise would in a film that generally is attempting to be a bit more intimate and not be quite so spectacle driven.
Right. I mean, you're in it. So why is Dark Phoenix then made to be seen in real 3D?
Look, I think the people that love 3D love it because it's the ultimate cinematic experience. And so, the opportunity to see any of the characters you love or go to worlds or go to space, in 3D is hard to beat.